Then again he mentions Striyaha, women, Vaishyaha, Vaishyas, Shudraha, the Shudras. Tepi yanti param gatim. They also attain the supreme state of realization. We had seen in the 4th chapter very elaborately. And later on in the 18th chapter also we will see again. The division of this 4 caste which is made on the basis of the gunas. So sattva gun, rajo gun, tamo gun. So more of sattvic is considered brahmana, then kshatriya, then vaishya, shudra. And both stri as well as purush are brahman, kshatriya, vaishya, shudra. Then again in our this Sanskrit literature, certain qualities are expressed as feminine and certain are expressed as masculine. Then also the scripture uses certain type of terms for particular, like for example, balaha. Bhagwan has also used. Bala means little bache, little children. He says little children do not understand about, in the 5th chapter he has used, about Sankhya and Yoga. So there the balaha doesn't mean real actual children, but those who are childish in their understanding. Similarly, here when Bhagwan uses the term Striyaha, I am giving the interpretation as I have understood and also as Pujya Gurudev has expressed in his commentary. You should read his commentary. So Striyaha means those who have some feminine qualities of attachment and all. Here, attachment and that mamatva, holding on to certain things. Then Vaishyaha, those who have commercial attitude, those who are more rajasic, and tamasic, commercial attitude, trying to find out what do I gain, what is my profit. Then Shudraha, those are more tamasic and they do not have the ability to independently think and do some subtle contemplation and all. So Shudraha, but such beings also, Bhagavan says, if they surrender to me and they follow this path, they also attain the supreme state of realization. Here Bhagavan is bringing out the glory of this bhakti, glory of this path of spirituality. Again I repeat, that in our Vedas, and Bhagavan is interpreting and basing this teaching on the Vedas only. So in the Vedas, they have given some division based on this gunas and all, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, also Stri, Purush, and there are certain rituals which are mentioned, which can be done only by these people, then only by that people, not by this, not by that. It should be done at this time, not at any other time, should be done at this place, not at any other place. So lot of do's and don'ts and lot of conditions are mentioned in the Vedas to do particular type of ritual and to gain particular type of result. As I said, to gain the various results of this world, proper qualification is required. Everyone cannot attain everything in this world. All of us are basically different. All of us are basically means our body, our mind is essentially different. So to attain anything in this world, including Swargalok or Brahmalok, we need qualification. But to attain God, no qualification is required. Because God is same for everyone, is same in everyone. So Bhagavan says, taking support of this division which the scriptures or Vedas have made, he says even those who are of this nature, Stri, Vaishya, Shudra, they also attain me. So it's like a what you call a special thing. The beauty of this path is such that anyone in the scriptures they talk about, in Ramayana, in Bhagavad, they talk about even animals. Even in the modern times, like in Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi's ashram, a cow attained that state of realization. And so many those peacocks and so many other animals, monkey is to come and they is to in Munger, there's great Mahatma, and there is to be a dog who is to attain all satsang and all those things. And not just like that, but and they consider him as a sadhu only, as a great master. So for bhakti, for attaining God, Bhagavan says no qualification is required. But to stand in election, here no qualification is required. That is a bad example. But to become a doctor or engineer, a certain qualification is required. To attain some special thing in this world, qualification is required. But to attain God, कुछ नहीं चाहिए हमको. हमारे घर जाने के लिए कुछ नहीं चाहिए. But किसी के दूसरे के घर जाने के लिए you need some special permission and all. If you want to meet the Rashtrapati or want to meet the Prime Minister, so much things, qualification and so much of things are required. But you want to go and meet your own parents, nothing, you just go. So Bhagavan says, even such beings, they also attain me. So what to talk about those who have qualification? They to anyway attain me. Those who have sattvic qualities in them, like the Brahmanas and Kshatriyas, those who have sattvic, rajasic, they attain me. There is no doubt about that also. He says in the next verse, Kim punar brahmana punyaha bhakta rajarshayas anityam sukham lokam imam prapya bhajasvama Kim punar brahmana punyaha bhakta rajarshayas tatha. Kim punaha. Bhagavan says what to talk about those who are brahmanas. Brahmana, those who have sattvic qualities. Not because his father is Brahman or mother is Brahman, but those who have sattvic qualities. Guna karma vibhaga yoho. In the 4th chapter, Bhagavan says this vibhag is on the basis of guna and karma. The qualities and his karma, how the person behaves. Based on that, this is a broad classification. So those who have the sattvic qualities, brahmanas, and those rajarshis, those who are rishis, and also they are kings, raja, Kshatriyas, such people, bhaktaha, if they attain me, they also attain me. And Vaishya, Shudra, Stri, Papayoni, everyone attains me. So this is the beauty of this path. If you want to attain or meet Indra Bhagwan or Varuna, Kuber and all, lot of conditions and lot of difficulties might be there. But to attain God, just you call him and he comes in our life. Just surrender to him, he comes. He is our own self. To attain something other than ourself, lot of difficulty is there. So kim punar brahmana. Therefore, Bhagavan says, anityam asukham lokam imam prapya bhajasvama. Therefore, Bhagavan says, having attained this world, imam lokam prapya, having attained this world, means having come into this world. All of us, one fine morning, we found ourselves in this world. At least I found. I found in the morning. I don't know about you. But one fine day, okay, You suddenly, because as a child, as when you are born, we are not aware of ourselves. But after slowly, we suddenly become aware of ourselves and find ourselves in a particular house, with particular parents, with particular country, particular society, particular religion. All we are just born in that. So having taken birth, having come into this world, having attained this world, what should we do? Bhagavan says, and what is this world you should understand. There are two important qualities of the world, anityam and asukham. Anityam means it is temporary, kshanikam. And asukham means it's full of sorrow. What Gautam Buddha said, sarvam dukkham dukkham, sarvam kshanikam kshanikam. This world is temporary. All our life is temporary. देखते देखते आयु चली जाती है. दिनयामिन्यो सायं प्रातः शिशिर वसंतो पुनरायातः काल क्रीडति गच्छति आयुः तदपि न मुंचति आशावायुः. The days go, the night comes, the seasons change. Kala kridati, the time plays, and our ayu goes. We start becoming older and older. In the beginning, people then they remove their grey hair and all. But afterwards, they feel, कितना अभी निकालेंगे? यहाँ से निकल तो यहाँ से निकलता है, वहाँ से निकलता. Then they give up. Then suddenly they read advertisement about coloring the hair. Then they color it also. Then ऊपर से काला काला और नीचे सफेद सफेद निकल रही. Then after some time they give up that also. They get tired of कौन color करेंगे. Then they do some face lifting, weight lifting, this lifting and all those things. But how much? Anityam, it goes just like that. Ayu goes. So kala kredit, anityam, this world is anitya. The state in which we are, our position, our name, our fame, or wherever we are, is anitya. We have seen in this chapter itself the eternity of time. Brahmaji's day and such a vast time. In that vast time, even the whole life of whole humanity is anityam. Forget about one person. In the life scale of this earth, there are some other creatures who have lived longer, who long lived. Humanity has just come about 2 million years ago. Compared to the scale, we are just beginners like. All those other beings and all, some of them have lived such a long time. Even dinosaurs have lived for a long time. They are wiped out. No dinosaur temples are there around. Nothing is there. So in this anitya world, and it is asukham, there might be excitement in the world. There might be pleasure in the world. Pleasure, excitement comes through scratching. When we stimulate our senses, we gain pleasure. When we stimulate our mind, we get pleasure. When we stimulate our intellect, we get pleasure. So reading novels, watching the various serials, going on a picnic, partying, this, that, and 31st December, dancing, jumping, and drinking, and loitering around, one may get some stimulation. People want stimulation because there is no inner joy. So unless they are stimulated, scratched like, they don't feel that joy. So tying both the legs and jumping from the cliff and shouting, great stimulation is there and great joy, pleasure is there. But it's short-lived. Like. Then afterwards, again you have to come and again jump. So all joys, that is called pleasure. But sukha is what we experience unconditionally, arising from within, from as an expression of our own self. When the mind, when the stimulation stops, when there is no disturbance from the stimulation of the senses, the mind and all, there is an experience of deep peace and happiness. That is the inner, that sukha. But in the world of all this stimulation, there is no joy. There is just a seeming, it's an illusion of joy, this pleasure. So Bhagavan says, understand that world has got these two qualities. It is anityam and asukham. And you have attained, you have come to this world. So what should you do now? He says, bhajasva mam. You worship me. You strive to attain me. You move towards this path. I have shown you a very simple path. So you strive to attain me. That is your fulfillment. That will make your life complete. That will conclude your journey, going again and again into different life forms. This whole journey will come to an end. You will attain me. So bhajasvamam. That is what we have to do. Because this is a great opportunity we have got as a human being. We have this great opportunity to gain this state of enlightenment. We have choice, as I said, we have choice as a human being. Animal, birds, plants, not much choice. But human beings have choice. And that too choice for a short period of time. We have choice. In our childhood, we don't have choice. Balastavat krida saktaha. Tarunastavat taruni saktaha. Vriddhastavat chinta saktaha. Parame brahmani kopina saktaha. In Bhaja Govindam, Bhagavan Shankaracharya says that if we don't utilize this choice, our childhood goes in playing. Our youth goes in running after various types of pleasures. And old age goes in chinta. People just sit there and keep on worrying. That becomes like a favorite pastime life. Not favorite, but it becomes like this. Chinta karte rehte. This youngster staying alone or somewhere, then that elderly, some grandmother comes and stays with them, then चिंता क्या हो गया अभी तक आया नहीं वो पता नहीं कहाँ गया बेटा अभी तक कुछ नहीं कहाँ गया जाते हैं चिंता. When she was not there, everything was going fine. But when she comes, she starts worrying about. वो माली आया था और पता नहीं क्या काट के ले गया है अब क्या करूं अब मैं क्या बहुत मुझे चिंता होने लगी है. Chinta. And it's not an ordinary, that person feels so disturbed कि कुछ नहीं कर सकते. Then भगवान का नाम नहीं ले सकते, कुछ नहीं करते. Terrible चिंता. So vriddhastavat chinta saktaha. And in this way the whole life goes. बचपन चले गया, जवानी चली गई, बुढ़ापा चले गया. भगवान के लिए टाइम ही नहीं है. So if you have that ability to choose now, then choose God. That is the thing. Just say that I have chosen God and say that I belong to God. In the beginning, you might not believe what you are saying, but slowly you will start believing. It will come into your heart. I belong to God. मैं भगवान का हूँ. I belong to God. And my life is dedicated to God. Whatever I do, whatever I think, whatever I pursue, everything is dedicated to God. I live and die for God. If we regularly keep this in our mind, we move towards God. He has given us promise. We don't have to worry. No worrying. No chinta. He has taken us responsibility. If God has taken responsibility, then no need to worry. So, anityam asukham imam lokam prapya bhajasvama. Mera bhajan karo. Bhagwan, please tell, before you conclude this chapter, please tell again how to do your bhajan, how to worship you, how to dedicate ourselves to you. Please tell. So, in the last verse, again, Bhagwan tells us the gist of his bhakti. He says, Manmana bhava mad bhaktaha Madhyaji mam namaskuru. Mame vaishyasi yuktvevam. Atmanam matparayanaha. Manmana bhava madbhaktaha. हाँ, मनमना भव, मद भक्त भव, मद्याजी भव, माम नमस्कुरु भव. Bhagavan says that manmana bhava. Let your mind be in me. Place your mind in God. Place your mind in God. Develop interest in God. Place your mind in God means develop interest in God. Sometimes we say, na, आपका मन कहाँ है? Parents, they sit with their children trying to teach them mathematics, and that fellow is thinking about something else. So the mother says, where is your mind? My mind is there in that ball. My mind is there in that game. So he has placed his mind there. Physically he is sitting here. His mummy has forcefully made him sit. Similarly, where is our mind? We should place our mind in God. We develop interest in God, in this supreme reality. Develop interest. Means our emotions, our energy, our emotional energy and the psychological energy should be directed towards God. Man mana bhava. Let your mind be in me. Develop interest in me. Don't take it just like a superficial thing. Develop deep interest in this supreme reality, God, who is your own self, Param Atma, supreme self. So, manmana bhava, madhyaji, worship me, madbhaktaha, be my devotee, means dedicate all your actions to me, love me sincerely. Madbhaktaha, be my devotee. Develop sincere love for me. Because once our mind is in God, then automatically we will develop love for God also. Then madhyaji, worship me, serve me. See, many times Bhagavan uses the word me, so therefore we should be very clear about who is God. And that is explained in the beginning of this chapter and other chapters also. So worship me doesn't mean worshipping Krishna or one particular image of God. Bhagavan says, I exist in all beings. I am everywhere. Worshipping me is dedicating all your actions to me, dedicating all your emotions and all your energy towards me. Whatever you do, whatever you think, whatever you worship, whatever you offer as charity, dana, everything you dedicate it to me. So madhyaji, worship me. Mam namaskuru, and do namaskar to me. See me in this whole world, in yourself, in others, and do namaskar to me. So develop interest in God, develop love for Him, worship Him, and do namaskar to Him. All this will make a person matparayanaha. All this will make a person totally dedicated to God only. Because our mind, our intellect, our physical body, our whole energy is directed towards God, so our whole life becomes dedicated to God only. If I am interested in God, if I love God, if I work for Him, if I do namaskar to Him, means consider Him as great. Doing namaskar means considering God as great and surrendering to His greatness. That is namaskar. So surrendering to His greatness. So namaskar indicates surrender, path of total surrender. Madhyaji indicates the path of karma. Madbhakta indicates the path of bhakti. And Manmana indicates the path of knowledge. So let God be in your thoughts. Let God be in your emotion as bhakti. Let God be in your action. And finally surrender to God completely. So when one does this, he becomes matparayanaha. He becomes totally dedicated to God. Such a person, Bhagavan says, Mam eva aishyasi. Such a person, come to me alone. Gain that total identification with God. It is that oneness. It is the state of enlightenment. Why? Because yuktva evam atmanam. Because he is totally tuned to me, to myself. Mam atmanam yuktva. Having totally tuned himself to me, he attains me. Manmana bhava mad bhakta. See, this verse is so beautiful. It gives the sar of the entire our spiritual path. Bhagavan repeats this verse with a little minor difference in the 18th chapter also. In the 18th chapter, Bhagavan tells Arjuna that I have taught you everything, but just to summarize the whole teaching, I will tell you. And he repeats this verse, and he also says that verse, Sarva Dharman Parityajya and all. So this very important verse. So Manmana Bhava, place your mind in me. Means think about God, study Him, read about Him. Like read the scriptures which talks about God, contemplate upon them, understand. Don't have vague ideas about God. Don't have misunderstanding about God. Don't go by the general misunderstanding in the world. Don't go by the general misunderstanding about from a community's level also. Maybe the whole community may be misunderstood. So what? Just forget about them. See, there is not only misunderstanding in our own, like in one religion itself, but other religions also have misunderstanding about other religions. Like our own India, with our own this wonderful teaching and the greatness which is there in our scriptures. People in general in the world, they think India means all this, caste system, all bad people, all this snake charmers, rope tricks. Like that only they think. And we are also not bothered. If you think like that, you keep on thinking, mera kya, ki farak penda. But forget about them. We ourselves, we don't know. When we talk about what is Hinduism? You say, I am a Hindu. What is Hinduism? Hinduism is based on this great, grand vision of oneness. All others are details. If you want to forget, you can forget the details. But don't forget the main essence. All other rituals, that even if you give up all the rituals and all the other practices and all, you just hold on to this deep understanding of oneness. Whatever you do will be a religion then. The way you behave will be dharma. Others will write it down and they will follow it. Because the dharma arises from this experience of oneness. It is not the other way around. A person who has established himself in this great experience of oneness, the way that person behaves, the way he walks and talks becomes a path for others to follow. Since that person experiences oneness with all beings, he has got deep love for everyone. So deep love for everyone becomes path for others. It's not just for time pass that, you do this and all. It is an expression of wisdom. All our rituals or all our way of life and all, not rituals, way of life is an expression of this wisdom. But it might change, it might modify as the time changes, the expression might modify a little bit. But the wisdom remains same. So rather than focusing our attention on the outer expression, we should go to the depth and try to experience that oneness. So this path is shown here very clearly. Ki man mana bhava mad bhaktaha madhyaji mam namaskuru. Fourfold path. That place your mind in God, means be interested in God. Let your thoughts and understanding and contemplation be about God. Develop great affection and love and reverence and devotion and respect for God. That is bhakti. Then whatever actions you do, let it be in the service of God. That is karma. And finally, surrender to God. That is namaskar. Dedicate yourself and surrender to God. That is namaskar. So karma, bhakti, jnana, and total surrender. This is the path. If we follow this, Bhagavan says, Mam eva aishyasi, that person will attain me because he is totally tuned to me. He has become mat parayana. He has dedicated his whole life to me, so he will attain me. Thus concludes this beautiful chapter, and in the end we have this Sankalpa Vakya. We'll chant that also. Om Tat Saditi Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Rajavidya Rajaguhya Yogo Nama Navamodhyayaha. So, Om Tat Sat is the indicator of that supreme truth. It is indicated as Om, as Tat, as Sat. Thus, in this Bhagavad Gita, which is Upanishad, the knowledge of Brahma is revealed, Brahma Vidya. And Yoga Shastra, the science of yoga, the science of the path of attaining this Brahma or realizing Brahma. And it is given in the form of a dialogue between Bhagavan Shri Krishna and Arjuna. Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade. The name of this chapter is Rajavidya, royal knowledge, and Rajaguhya, royal secret. Nama Navamodhyayaha. The 9th chapter thus concludes here. So, Om Tat Sat. Hari Om. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.